Tonight, The Stars Revolt by Gardner F. Fox, originally published in Planet Stories, March 1952. Read by Jon Gill. Part 1. The pools were like the gaping mouth of space, dark and fathomless, extending into bottomless wells, the depths of which the people of Kar could only guess. Some said that the god Stazar dwelt in this glistening black. Others claimed the emptiness was the hollow interior of the planet. None of them right. All men feared the pools. Only a man 50,000 years old knew their incredible secret, and he lived an invisible city. Red Angus fled like a frightened hound through the twisted alleys of the lower city. Dim lamplight from the towering white walls of the citadel threw glowing brilliance across his naked chest, glinted on the metal studs of his broad leather belt and on the rippling muscles of his long legs. He skidded on a patch of slops, righted himself, and dove for the darkness of an arched doorway. He drew back in the shadows, barely feeling the burn of the new brand on his shoulder that stamped him as a pirate. Faintly he heard the shouts and drumming feet of the dictators, police, as they ravened in the streets, hunted him. His heart thudded swiftly under the high arc of his rib cage. Red Angus smiled wryly. He was a hunted space pirate, just free of the cell blocks below the palace. But he was more than that to the dictator of Kar. He was a Karvan noble who had gone bad, who had fled into space and established an eyrie on a wandering asteroid, who had set himself up as a one-man crusade against Stal Te, ruler of Kar, by the grace of the god Stazar. "I'll find a way," the pirates swore in the shadows, listening to the shouts and running of the guards, the sharp, barking blast of their heat guns. There was a faint sound behind the thick oaken door. Angus moved his naked back, still welt and scarred, away from the damp wood. He clenched a big fist and stood silent, waiting. He was a tall man, lean in the belly and wide about the shoulders. His mouth was thin but curved at the corners as if though used to smiling. Close, cropped reddish hair gave his hard-tanned face a fiery look. Dark blue eyes glistened in the half-squint of the habitual spaceman. The oaken door swung open. A cowled form stood in the darkness of the archway, putting out a thin, old hand toward him. Where the cowl hung, there was only a faint white dimness for a face. "The hierarch will see you and save you, Red Angus," said the old man. "Come in. He hopes you'll listen to reason." "The hierarch?" snorted the lean man in disbelief. "His hand in arm with Stal Te. He'll land me back with my ankles in a manacle chain." The cowled man shook his head and whispered, "Hurry, hurry, there's no time to argue." A shout from the street less than 60 feet away decided the half-naked, winded Angus. He moved his shoulders in a bitter shrug and slid inside the door. The latch clicked on the door, and a hand caught his. A voice, gentle with age, said softly, "Follow me." The end. Thank you for listening.